GM, GM. GM. GM, GM. Daily levels. What fucking day is it? Wednesday. 10th of April. 10th of April already. 10 days in. So, the first half of the month has been basically flat, if you look on a monthly candle. Bit of up, bit of down, bouncing back up to near where we began. Yesterday we were back up at the monthly open. Monthly open was over here, around 71, and we were back there on Monday into Tuesday. Yeah. So, this is probably going to be a red month, I would guess, at this point. I don't see much reason why we'll now break out. I don't think it goes as low as some people expect, but after having, I think it's 7 in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we could very easily have a red month. I mean, it wouldn't be at all surprising. And I think if we just trade the rest of April within this range we're in, with the high and the low staying roughly where they are, I think that'd be a good result at this point. So anyway, price came back down. The 4-hour bands are still green, but we're trading below them. It's not. It pushed above 71, pushed above 72. Failed completely. Just lost strength. So just was a grab of liquidity. Dropped back down to where we are now. We're back inside the meme line of this pennant. If you remember, I was talking last week about how many people were sharing this pennant, this bigger one, like here. It's all over my feed on Twitter, and they're like, it's Bitcoin, it's bull market, bullish pennant's going to break out, target 80k. It doesn't work like that in general. If it, like, again, it can happen, but it was always unlikely to happen like that on the first try. Now, we're probably going to go the other way, and people are going to get themselves too bearish. And I think something like this is a rough path to have. I think from here, this sideways correction has been very weak. This doesn't indicate any strength to me, and we probably take the lows, but I think from there it bounces and gets choppy. I do think it will grind around in this area for a bit. I don't think it's going to be great for anyone who's trying to trade long or short. I do think we make our way down then to 65, down to the lows. But quite often, what will happen here, if you remember what I said yesterday, in this zone, right? Lose 69, most likely goes to 65. And the first time, though, that it goes to breakdown, expect some kind of bounce, right? Because people are going to try that exact trade. Oh, short 69 and it's just going to go straight to 65. Like, that's easy. There's no big support in there. It has to go right down. Typically, no. So I expect if that low gets taken, we see some kind of bounce and chop, and then eventually it makes its way down. I do think we get down to 65. I don't see this area holding that well. We are still right around that old all-time high level, that 69k. So while it's still hanging around there, that's fine. It might just be a bear trap, right? This might be shitty price action that's actually trapping bears. Could be. However, everything I see just points towards a genuine lack of interest. Bit of weakness. But then it's not even really weakness when you zoom out, right? You zoom out onto a daily. The fact that Bitcoin is hanging around up here, and we're talking about, people online are talking about being bearish or shorting or weakness or it's over. And I was like, what do you mean it's over? I mean, this is a super bullish chart. So allow it to consolidate. What stopped this sell-off has been the bands. So I don't, and obviously the old all-time high level, I don't put a lot of stock in that. Meaning, I don't think that these daily bands holding are going to continue to hold us up at this level. I think they'll stop initially because there'll be some liquidity on them and price holds up and people are trying to short into it. But given the fact that this breakout candle failed, left a wick above, so that's been tested, failed, and then the next candle was a fully engulfing bearish, right, where it took down the entire body of the candle, closed lower, took out the lows, and we're now trading 69. It seems like more chop is most likely, and eventually probably some kind of down move to get people bearish again. Looking at Binance and Bybit and OKX, since we moved down into this low, I really want to see the premiums come down. It's coming down a bit on Bybit finally. Binance not really. Keeps spiking up every time there's a possibility of a bottom, and OKX the same. OKX was right down at a spot premium again, but it keeps flipping back and forth. Funding rates are starting to come back down, which is good. Bybit almost back at neutral. Binance not too bad, but OKX is some very weird flows going on in OKX. Whatever's happening over there. And really, I think it's just not a place to be taking a strong directional opinion. It's going to go both ways, right? I think if you're shorting here or if you're longing here, you're going to be wrong both ways. So I think that in this zone, so in the blue box, in fact, I'll go to a new chart, which is not that new, right? I think that before this actually resolves, you're going to see price go up here and down here. It's just not a great place. Now, is it going to go up first and then down? Does it go down first and then up? Don't know, but I doubt that anyone who's taking positions in here is going to be right if they're on lower time frames. So I just wait. There's a lot more that needs to happen. If Bitcoin's actually going to break out from here into the high 70s, it's going to have to do a miraculous reversal, consolidate, have lowering volatility, and then break out. And I would much rather just get long over there if it was. Not in this area. Today is CPI as well. So the inflation data is coming out. So the market will probably not move much before that. Everyone's eyes are going to be drawn towards this. CPI coming at 12:30 UTC, whatever time that is for you. 12:30 p.m. UTC. 8:30 a.m. in New York. It's always 1 hour before the New York session opens. That'll give an indication of what people's expectations are for the Fed and rate cuts this year. Right? If we see rising inflation, the expectation of rate cuts will go down. If we see inflation flat or falling, you're probably going to see the markets rip, at least initially, because there's a bit of fear about inflation and people are worried that if inflation stays, if it goes up, that Powell's not going to cut as soon and the markets are going to be bearish and blah blah blah. So wouldn't trade today, wouldn't trade Bitcoin today. We'll just wait and see. I wouldn't trade before that news announcement or economic data release. And that's about it. Anything else of note? Total down, total 2 down, total 3 down, all about the same. Bitcoin dominance kind of flat. Stocks slightly green. Dollar slightly down. VIX slightly up. Gold flat. Yeah, nothing of note. ETH BTC continuing its latest attempt to bottom. People coming out again saying is this it? Is this finally the bottom for ETH-BTC? Good luck with that. It probably is, but you know my thoughts on this. If you try and call it every day for 3 years, eventually you'll be right. Like these people have been doing on Twitter. Yeah, not much happening outside of CF. Apart from that, oh, Beats is fucking moving. So the BRC20 narrative's back in full swing. Multibit doing the second path I mentioned. I don't know if it'll come all the way back down. It didn't have immediate continuation, but it pushed up and is starting to consolidate. I think the BRC20s are continuing to be pretty good. Some of the lower cap stuff, like Ordy's not really moving. Sats and Rats, they were just complete nonsense coins anyway. Multibit's legit. Pete's is obviously just a fucking meme coin. Multibit's legit in that it actually is allowing this interoperability cross chain with Solana and Bitcoin, especially, which is super bullish. And it's halving, it's a week before the halving, so it's obvious that we have, or it's a good time, I suppose, for BRCs to be in the news and relevant. Apart from that, not much going on. So that's it. GM. See you all later. 4 p.m. UTC, we'll do the mainstream. 6 p.m. UTC, we'll do Wipeout Wednesday. GM.